Storm Publishing presents The Girl in the Dark, written by Deirdre Palmer and read by Annette Chown. Prologue. Ellen. It was my first day back at work after Christmas and New Year. A day of catch-up office chat and leisurely tackling of routine tasks, interspersed with constant trips to the coffee machine. I left bang on 5, the freezing air like a smack to the face as the revolving glass doors ejected me into the winter dark. As I was swept up in the crowd, moving along Victoria Street towards the Underground and mainline stations, I noticed a black and white checkered baker boy cap bobbing up ahead. I was fairly sure it belonged to Georgie, who worked in our staff restaurant. I didn't bother catching up with her. It wasn't that sort of situation. In any case, Georgie didn't like me. She talked to me like she talked to everyone else, an endless stream of chit-chat. But there was always an edge to it when we were face to face, almost as if she resented me. Which is ridiculous, as I've never given her any reason. I'd already lost sight of Georgie by the time I reached the entrance to the tube. I scanned my Oyster card, stepped onto the escalator, and descended. It was his scarf I noticed first. Red and cream in a large checked pattern. It was wound loosely around his neck, one of the fringed ends thrown over his shoulder, the way a child might wear it, or a model in a fashion magazine. He wasn't the only person to own a scarf like that. It was by a popular mid-range designer and available in every good department store. But as it caught my eye, I immediately thought, Rosanna. And then, Matt. My sister had given her lover a scarf like that for his birthday. He'd liked the Rupert Bear books as a child, and it was the closest she could get to Rupert's red and yellow scarf. She never did tell me how Matt reacted to the gift, whether he laughed about the Rupert thing or found the whole present idea alarming and intensely awkward. What did he tell his wife? That he'd bought it for himself? Depending on what kind of man he was, and the kind of woman she was, this might have sounded plausible. Whatever, he was wearing the scarf, because as I looked more closely, I realised I was looking at Matthew Layton. The crowd surged through the tunnels. I almost lost sight of him, and then I saw him enter the tunnel for the northbound line, and I followed. He reached the platform before me, and I shuffled through the crush, keeping him in sight. I'd met him.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?